Hi everyone, it's Walter from e38registry.org, and today on our first video about the E38 we're going to talk about a very common error that we see a lot when people are listing old E38s, especially the 750IL with dual pane windows. So what happens is that dual pane windows are not very common in cars, even to this day. You tend to see them mostly on Mercedes, I guess, on the S-Class and on the Audi A8. And that's pretty much it. You don't really see them. So when somebody sees a dual pane window, they immediately think, oh man, this thing is bulletproof. That's awesome. I'm going to sell this car as a bulletproof car because that's what I think it is. Unfortunately, that's very, very ignorant. When the person doesn't think that, when they're a little bit more tech savvy, what they'll do, they'll go on those websites where you can run the VIN and see the option list. And they'll perhaps see something that's called protective glazing on their options list. What that is basically a dual pane window with a laminate layer in the middle. It's great if you live in a sketchy neighborhood and perhaps you have a lot of break-ins. There's some pretty cool videos online with a guy like with a big hammer trying to break the window and he can't break the window. It won't stop a bullet though. Another thing that people mention a lot is the shipping protection package. They run the VIN, they see protection package, and they think, ooh, it's bulletproof. That's awesome. Unfortunately, the shipping protection package is nothing more than those little white plastic things or whatever that they put on the cars to ship them across the country in trailers. Has absolutely nothing to do with a bulletproof car. So you might be asking yourself, but I mean, people are pretty smart. There's the internet these days. Like that doesn't really happen a lot, right? You would be surprised. There's actually a couple of examples here that I've just pulled up with a very quick search of Craigslist, and I want to address them and kind of show what the owners were probably thinking and what you actually have to think in case you do actually have a protection car and you do want to sell it, because those are very, very rare. They only made about 40 of them for the US and the 750, and I think 35, 40 of the 740IL. So if you have one, it's really rare. It's a really cool novelty. Unfortunately, most people don't actually have one. So let's go to Craigslist and I will show you what I mean. Okay, so let's go to this first car here. The one that was on the screen, it was an actual protection package. We'll get to it. So this is a 2000 BMW 750i listed in Lancaster, I believe, Pennsylvania, for 11.5, which is a little bit on the high side with the current market. But I mean, car looks nice. It's desirable color combination. It's white on gray. But the seller mentions that it's a protection package. And let's take a quick look at it and see if there's anything on the option list. There it is. So it says right there that it has break-resistant glass. So, you can kind of think that, well, maybe that is bulletproof. Unfortunately, it's not, and there's a few dead giveaways. One of them, just pay attention to it, is the fact that the rear windows go down. The other one is that it has a sunroof. You can see that it has a sunroof. On the US market protection cars, you do not get lowerable rear windows, and you definitely don't get a sunroof. So that's a dead giveaway. We go to this one here, which is a really expensive one, and it's in Minneapolis, 119,000 miles. It says it's a sport package. It's not actually a sport package, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. But it looks like a really clean car. But again, it has a few issues, namely, it has a sunroof. And the guy actually posts a picture of the sunroof here. You can see it. None of the protection cars have sunroof. Like, you just don't. It's like basically a big slab of bulletproof steel. You don't get a sunroof. And he says right here, level 1 protection, bullet-resistant glass. That's really not true. If you get shot at this car, you will probably die. And you're going to end up like Tupac, which kind of sucks. And you can see here, like in this really crappy picture, Oh yeah, let's go here. So here you can see also this really bad picture that it has like a ski bag in the back. Keep that in mind because it's relevant for the protection packages. So let's go look at a real one. This one was listed on Bring a Trailer for no reserve, sold for $12,000, which is actually pretty good. And this is a real protection package. So other than seeing it on the VIN, which is obviously the easiest way to find out if it's a real deal or not, there's a few dead giveaways that you can look at that tells you that it's a real protection package. So first of all, let's look at this picture. You can see that it doesn't have a sunroof. That's the giveaway right there. Every single 750IL sold in North America had a sunroof. You could get some in Europe without a sunroof. You could special order it for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe you lived in Spain and didn't want the sun cooking you. I don't know. But all the ones that were sold in North America had sunroof. If it didn't have a sunroof, then it's very, very likely that it's a real protection bulletproof package car. So you can see here that it has no sunroof. We can look at some other pictures here of the car. There's some stuff here that's kind of important. When you look to the left of the steering wheel, you have this extra button that you don't have on normal cars, and what this is a lateral window defroster. The windows are very thick, so they do have problems in the winter defrosting, so they have the heating elements where you can press that and you can defrost the side windows. You can only get that in the protection cars. So there's something else here. It's going to show you the roof, and you can kind of see that there's no sunroof. So you go back here to the supposedly protection one, and you can definitely see that it has a sunroof, but that's a fake protection. You come back here to the real one, you can see that it doesn't have a sunroof. It doesn't have the sunroof controls either. So this one here actually has a pretty good picture here. There you go. So this is the rear door. Okay, so on all of the regular 750ILs, you will see that there's a little switch for the window here for the rear door. In the protection package, you don't get that. The rear windows do not go down for safety, and this is another dead giveaway that you have a real protection car. If you do have a window switch there, then your car is not bulletproof. You look at the trunk. Remember the ski pass-through earlier? Yeah, see, it doesn't have it because it's a nice slab of bulletproof material, so you don't get the ski pass-through. Instead, when you look inside of the car, you get this little piece of, I guess, foam, leather, whatever you want to call it, just to kind of complete the hull. So when we go back here to the non-protection car, let's see if it has a, oh yeah, there, see. You can see it here in this picture. Let me find it again. There it is. So you can see that it has a hole right there, and that's for the ski pass-through. So if your car has that, it is not a protection package. It is not bulletproof. What else do we have here? Most of the protection package cars came with this style of wheel. Those were run-flat tires, and they were not common at all at that time. I believe these tires are not bulletproof. They're just run-flat. So, you know, I guess you could technically get shot at. It will deflate the tire, but it is not bulletproof. So, last but not least, let's look at a Roger 750i protection. Like, he was able to score this one. I think it's maybe a 1 of 1 or 1 of 2 in this color combination. Very rare car. Looks very sharp. You can see on his car that he also doesn't have a sunroof. This is a legitimate 750IL bulletproof car. So, you can see some pictures here. You can see the window thickness. It's very, very thick. When you look at the dual pane windows, the regular ones, they're about this thick. They're just, you know, 2 panes of glass with a little bit of air between them. These, no, these are very thick. These are about 1 inch thick. They have an extra black frame on top to protect the window from shattering. That's like one of the other big giveaways. Another one, if you look at the controls here for the windows, you can see that the front window controls, they actually work, but the rear window ones are dummy ones because, again, they don't go down. This is a very rare window switch. You don't see it often. So if you see a window switch like this with a window like this, then it's probably a bulletproof car. Here we can see the rear panel again without the rear window switch, so it doesn't go down, as I said. You can see the little cushion there, because again there's no ski pass-through. And there again, and this is the most important shot. You look and you don't see a sunroof, it's very likely a protection package car. So very nice score, Roger, by the way. If you're watching this video, like, great buy, because it's highly unlikely you're going to find anything like this again. So that's pretty much it. There you have it. If you see something like this that has a sunroof and the seller claims that it's a bulletproof car, don't believe it. It's unfortunately it's not, and it's unfortunately a very common mistake. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this topic. Please share with clueless sellers on Craigslist. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe they want to learn. Maybe they just want to wallow in their ignorance and, I don't know, trick someone into buying a car that they think is really rare, but in reality it's not. We're going to be talking in the future about some interesting stuff about the 38, a lot about history and interior options, and a lot of cool stuff. So if you're into that, click subscribe. If you're not into that, then thanks for watching, and have a good one.